Ah, dang it. I forgot to undo the thing again. Oh, well. Welcome to Recovering Addict. Anything to say?
Hello.
I'm your host, LT Weaver, here on Recovering Addict. I am an addict alcoholic.
And I am Fleece Weaver. I'm the wife of an addict alcoholic.
So if you just happen to catch this show and it's a pre-recorded live feed, this happens every night at 8 o'clock Utah time. And we do this to talk about recovery. We go through news and recovery. We go through relapse prevention and recovery. I talk about my story. We chit chat in the comments and we just help each other recover, because you know why? We recover better together. And so thank you for watching. If you are watching, please make sure you hit that like button and you are subscribed. And tonight we're going to go through a little bit of news, and I got something to tell you guys. I was looking on my phone and I got my AA and NA app, you know, the app that has the Just for Today and the daily reflections. And I completely forgot about it. And I opened up my app, and guess what? I'm at 180 days. I hit 6 months today, guys. It's my birthday.
Yes. We didn't make you a birthday video.
Yeah, 6 months today. Oh,
That's
man.
awesome.
Yeah.
What a good day.
I was proud of myself. I didn't
Proud
even
of you
realize
too,
it. So my story is I actually quit 227 days ago, and I relapsed while I was in my IOP at 47 days. I drank 3 shots of whiskey out of a half a pint of whiskey. And that's why my key tags, if you notice here, go white, orange. And then I started over white, orange, green, red. And now I need to go get my 6-month one. But fortunately, the places are shut down, but I get to celebrate it here with you. And even better than that, somebody that I was in recovery with, who I still am very good friends with, her name's Diana. She's in the comments. And she has a special day today, too. Hey, Diana, check this out. Here are 8 things we love about Diana.
Thank you so much for being there for my dad and supporting our family.
I love your taste in music.
Your smile.
I also love how beautiful your heart is.
Your face is beautiful, Diana.
She's amazing and a good friend.
Your commitment to recovery.
We love you, Diana.
8 months. Congratulations, Diana.
Woo-hoo! Good job, Diana. You are beautiful and you are amazing, Diana. Congratulations.
8 months for Diana. So proud of you. It was awesome. I got to sit next to her every night in my IOP, and she is a big part of the reason that I stayed sane. She talked me off the cliff a couple times. I saw her character defects as well. But that's good. That's what we were there for. Watched her blossom into a beautiful woman who isn't afraid to take on the world. That's for sure.
A beautiful, confident, loving woman.
Today is my B-Day, Murd. I just hit 6 months today. Let me see the exact date on that. Let me see. Pulling my app up, looking, and it's 10/05/2019. So October 5th, 2019 is my new date because I relapsed. And had I not relapsed, it would have been August 19th, 2019. I would have had 227 days. But guess what? My addict talked to me again, and I said, hey, that sounds like a great idea. And I drank some whiskey like a dingbat. But hey, we're back on track, and we're here to spread the good news, spread the message of recovery. I want to give a shout out to our sober girls out there in Louisville, Kentucky. They sent us another email and another updated photo of themselves. There they are. Oh, let me remove this comment so we can see all their faces. Boom, there they are. So these ladies watch us every night. They watch your comments. They love seeing the interaction that we all have. And they're on quarantine. They're on lockdown. They cannot go to meetings. So they rely on this kind of stuff during this time to help supplement their recovery and to recover with us and to hear what we got to say, to see what we got to do, how we're going to recover. What are we doing to recover? You know what I mean? And that's what we do. So we'll put them up here, and we're going to let them hang out with us the rest of the night. How's everybody doing today? I got some news for you about Weber County if you guys are listening from Weber County. Hey, Nicole, how's it going? If you didn't hear Nicole, 6 months for me today. It's my birthday. Let's go back to these comments and say hello to everybody. Who did I miss? Murd, right on. Welcome to the show. Danielle, nice to see you. Hi, Mom. That's literally my mother. She gave birth to me. Matt, what's going on, brother? And then we got Diana. We just saw a cool little video. James, what's going on, bro? Glad you're here. Mama of Kenny, welcome. Jennifer Carve. How do you say that last name? I suck at reading. You guys just have to bear with me on
Colby.
that. Right here?
Jennifer
Karev.
Karev.
Okay. Jennifer, welcome back. Remember talking to you yesterday. And as always, a pleasure to see Merc. Hello, cool cats and cool kittens.
Hello.
No, I didn't kill my husband. If I was going to have a guy get eaten by a tiger, I'd soak him in sardine oil. She did it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
There's no doubt about
I'm
it.
going to get the t-shirt. Carol did it.
Polly. Yes.
Welcome, Polly.
So glad you're here, brother. How you doing out there? You hanging in there? Betsy, welcome. Just spent so much time getting back to you. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Oh, he likes our shirts. Huh? Yeah, I saw James's shirt game. I'm not going to lie. And I was like, you know what? I got to up my shirt game. So every day this week I've been buying I just go to Walmart. I go to the $7 shirt section. And I try to pick up a cool one. And the Recovering Addict channel, if you haven't noticed, is kind of a black and white or black and red themed channel. It's my favorite colors, if you notice by my tattoos. I got a tattoo of my wife's name that's black and red on my hand. So it's my favorite color. So I always try to do black and red. That's my thing. What's up, Link? Of course.
Mark on Facebook.
Hey, Steve, right on. Glad you're here. We just got out of Zoom meeting with Steve. I've been to 2 Zoom meetings today. James hosted one. It was really cool. It's not AA or NA. It's a Sober James kind of a meeting. Really good. And then I just got out of the NA Thursday night meeting with, I'm considering my NA home group. It's the people I always see in NA.
Mark on Facebook would like to know what the topic is for today.
The topic for today, if we get time, as the comments go, they go pretty quick. But I want to go through, oh man, did I lose it? No. I want to go through the 6 stages of recovery because we got pre-contemplation, contemplation, and it's 6 stages that a person goes through during recovery to kind of help see where you're at in recovery, if you're still using, if you're not using it, So that's usually the first half hour. And then the second half hour, I like to go through a relapse prevention book. We've been going through this. We're actually on chapter 7. We just finished going through 37 warning signs. There's 37 warning signs that we have to watch out for in ourselves, in our character defects, in our minds that we need to, once they appear and they start talking us down that path of relapse, we must learn how to interrupt them. So first half of the show, we like to try to talk to the addict that's still suffering and who needs help or who's just a couple days clean. And then the last half of the show, for people that are a little bit more mature in recovery, we try to learn together because that's what I need. I need all of it. Actually, I need all of you guys talking to me and watching out and holding me accountable. But we need to learn. We need to educate. If we don't keep learning, we don't keep educating. We're just going to go stagnant. And if you get stagnant, you get complacent. And complacent, you're going to end up back down the thing. We learned from this book that recovery is like walking up a down escalator. You cannot hold still. You hold still, boom, you're going back down. So the point of this channel is to keep pushing everybody forward through recovery so that we do not relapse. That is a big part of the not relapsing. And in the news, I looked up and I said, I just Googled, I'm like, man, I need some good news. I'm about tired of all this bad news. And guess what the article I found was? It says, according to Google Trends, searches for good news have reached an all-time high. And everybody's looking for good news right now. So in fact, searches for good news have reached levels that are more than double that of any time since Google has began publishing search data in 2004. So it's up huge. If you look at the scale on here, it shows from 2004, a line of about 50, just going like this. And then it hits this mid-February, March area, and boom, there's this huge spike in people looking for good news, which is a good thing, which tells me that we are not alone. Even outside of the addict into the normies world, they're feeling the pain too. But you know what? We got one up on them this time, you guys. What have we been teaching ourselves how to do? What have we been teaching and learning through counselors or NA and AA groups. We've been learning how to take it one day at a time. We've been learning how to go through these times of struggle. We've been learning of tragedy or fear, anxiety, the unknown. We know how to take it one day at a time. So I think we got one up on them. And that's what we're doing here in this channel. We are recovering together because we recover better together. I'm LT, this is Felice, and this is our son Link.
Hi.
He likes to join us for our show. He likes to look up little quotes and tell little jokes. You are in control of that when I'm blabbing.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm way behind.
Way behind. Hey, thanks, Mama Kenny, for the congratulations.
Best shirts. Congrats. Oh, you went way far up.
Yeah.
I talked to you guys the other.
Here's another thing, you guys. I've noticed that we're getting a pretty good following every night. We do this every single night. And our commitment, and I think the further we get into this, we're committing to 365 days in a row. But you can guarantee that we're going to be here every night at 8 o'clock Utah time until this whole virus thing is over. And I don't think it's going to be over for a while. So you can guarantee that we are going to be here. And our commitment right now is to do 365 in a row. Tonight is number 19. We are on the 19th show in a row. And seeing how fast the comments go now, because I really enjoy clicking through each one and responding back and getting like Betsy, look at that big, nice comment she left.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to interact and, gain what I can get out of your guys' encouragement and strength as well. So I was thinking I need moderators. I'm looking for possible moderators for the YouTube channel, but I don't have 1,000 subscribers yet. And to get a moderator and to get that community tab inside of YouTube, I have to have 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys could help me get to that 1,000 so that I could get a couple of moderators that can actually help be a part of this channel and comb through the comments, keep the comments going, be somebody else a part of the team, part of this recovering addict team to help us deploy this message of recovery, strength, and hope, and to be there for whoever needs it, a recovering, a still suffering addict. I throw my email up here for the reason to be able to reach me at any time throughout the day. So that if you are in a pinch and you're stuck right then, I hopefully can just right then be able to either email, text, call, whatever. I'm available. I've talked to you guys like a bunch. I know you had a lot of people talking to you. Please talk to me. I need help. I need help, you guys. I have a lot of people talking to you. I get it, but let's talk about like married people that can't make it. Please help me. I'm still suffering with my husband. Well, Betsy, give us some more information on what you mean by can't make it. Are you an addict? He's not. Is he an addict and you're not? What are you guys fighting about? What's the major conflict? What is your role in the conflict? What is his role in the conflict? So that we can dive down into this. And we got to just really start asking and answering some questions before we can get to the root cause of the problem. Like I've always said, and I've learned this through, what's it called? When you streamline processes and you're trying to get things to move bigger or move faster through a process, and there's a bottleneck, you got to find that problem, okay? And the way to find that problems is the 5 whys. So you guys you're telling me that you can't make it, okay? So that's a result of some problem down here. So you ask, why can't I make it? And you say, because of this. And then you look at this reason and you go, well, why is this happening? You go down to here and you ask why. And usually by the time you get to that 5th why, you're going to find a root cause of the problem. And that's the one you're going to attack, because if you attack any of those other whys in the chain, you're going to be wasting your time. You got to get down to the root of that problem. And I just want to throw it out there too. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. This is no way affiliated or sponsored by AA or NA, but we use their literature because we believe in the 12 steps. And I know they work because I've seen them work in people and I see them working in myself as well.
We got a first-time watcher, Diana, student nurse.
Awesome. Welcome to the show, Diana. Thank you for watching.
But yes, Betsy, give us some more info so we can talk about it.
And Betsy, if you really want to dig down deep and just, shoot me an email. And if you have already and I didn't see it,
call me. Do you want to jump on live?
We'll call her after this. We can actually have a real conversation.
Alicia says, did you read The Goal? Sounds familiar.
Hey, don't be giving out my secrets to my success there, Alicia. Yes, I did read that book, The Goal. I was actually at my work a year or two ago. They put me through a couple classes to teach me how to figure out problems and solve them, put teams together. And I can't even remember the names of the stuff right now because I don't care. I'm worried about recovery. I'm more interested in recovery and you guys than I am that place anymore.
Yeah.
Continual process improvement. That's what it is. Continual process improvement. You improve the process, you make it go bigger, you make it go better, you make it go faster, and then you do it again. You continually improve it. Continual process improvement. And that's it. That's how I tackle and take on sobriety. You improve the process of your sobriety, of your program, of your personal program inside, and then you recomb over it and you look, what can I do a little bit better? And every night, every day, we've been doing that. Last night, we started implementing this prayer list. So if you guys have anything you want us to pray for, throw it in the comments. Felice will write it down. And we as a family prayed right before we went to bed over that. Let me know how to reach you. Okay, right here, Betsy, in my banner. Let me throw up my email address right there. recoveringaddict8@gmail.com. Ask the sober girls from Louisville. Louisville. Okay. You got to say it like that. Louisville. They emailed and responded. Justin, he reached out to me on Facebook and we had a great show yesterday with him. We were all there to be able to encourage and support him. And then he actually encouraged us because he just relapsed. He's quit. He's clean. And he went through and cleaned his house and he shot us a couple of videos of him dumping out beer in the sink, which is encouraging, man. He could have drank those and nobody would ever known, but he did the right thing. And then he got it off his chest. He talked about it and he came to the show, depending on us here on Recovering Addict and depending on the team out there in the comments.
Okay. Nobody will know because God only knows.
God only knows what you're going through.
Or Betsy, you could message me on Facebook and we can reach out that way too. I'll put my name.
Not good at phones or emails or online stuff. Just figure out how to shoot an email. Or obviously you're pretty good at it. You found us on Facebook and you're commenting like a champ.
What did Ryan say to Betsy?
Oh, Betsy, I fought with my wife and I realized it's my fault. I couldn't make it, meaning I couldn't deal with my routine anymore. We had our share of fights. I was the drunk. You never knew what kind of drunk I was going to be once that pint of whiskey got in me. Sometimes I'd be happy, giggly, go lucky. And then other times I was accusing her of cheating on me. I was accusing her of this and that. Who knows what I was accusing her of. My insecurities, anything insecure inside me came out of my mouth like vomit. You know what I mean? You dealing with that kind of stuff? Let's talk. You need to talk. You drinking, Betsy? Are you sober right now? That's the question. I can't talk to text. Oh, I see what you're doing there. Okay. So our coronavirus update worldwide, we are over 1 million now. We hit 1,013,000. And we are at 52,983 deaths, but 210,263 have recovered. Here in the United States, we're still at the 244,000 mark. It has only increased a little bit. 10,400 of those have recovered and 6,054 deaths we have. Also, if you live in Weber County, listen to this. In Ogden, Weber County leaders have expanded the order meant to prevent the spread of coronavirus, directing a range of businesses where close human-to-human contact typically occurs to shut their doors, at least for the near time. Says Brian Bennon, head of the Weber-Morgan Health Department. And Weber County is here in Utah. This is the county that we live in. And Morgan County is a closely neighboring county here for us here in Utah, right where we live, which serves Weber and Morgan counties, is also asking the public to avoid social gatherings involving people outside their households, even in groups numbering fewer than 10 now. It says instead of allowing people to socialize in groups of 10, we are recommending that you don't do that. They don't gather so that they don't spread the disease, and that they're trying to slow down the disease is what they don't want the hospitals and all that stuff being overloaded. That's what they're trying to keep up with right now. They're trying to keep that huge number from spiking so that not everybody rushes to the hospital all at once. This updated order stays in effect through at least April 16th, and it could be extended. People aren't ordered to stay home as it might be in the aftermath of a disaster like an earthquake or a tornado, he said. And he emphasized that. But he said, we're asking you just to stay home and stay safe. He said, travel should be limited to necessary and urgent matters as much as possible. Says prohibition on dine-in services at restaurants continue, though such locals may offer carry-out services. The county listed a range of other businesses that may remain open, like grocery stores, hardware stores, and more. So if you're trying to get a phone call, or I'm getting a phone call, that's why I said phone call. If you want to go get a haircut, if you want to, where is that list? This is the places that they're going to close: barber shops, hair salons, tattoo parlors, entertainment and recreation venues like aquariums, arcades, fitness centers, and bowling alleys. So, it's actually, we're pretty middle of the country as far as that goes. And now it's here. And that is the measures our counties are taking here in Utah, where we live.
I have a Chuck Norris joke.
Let's hear that Chuck Norris joke, bud.
Chuck Norris has been exposed to the coronavirus. Coronavirus is now day 14 of quarantine.
I love it. All right, where are we at? That's why we can't see her. Yeah, I'll try to throw her comments up. I'm not rude or drunk. Okay, cool. We're not worried about it.
We'll reach out to you after this so we can chat.
Wow, that's nuts. Here in Japan, it is just not clear how many people have suffered and died. I'm grateful to be alive today and recovering. Me too, man. We woke up this morning. It's Thursday, so we have the rest of the weekend off. I'm happy for that. We had running water. We had food in the fridge. Our kids are healthy and fed. None of us have the virus yet. And so, yeah, man, I'm right with you on that gratitude thing.
Yet.
Polly, Louisville. Everyone talks funny but me. Wooder. God only knows. Hey, man, that's funny. Just wrapped up another Zoom meeting out here in Helena. This time I saw my old grand sponsor and his wife, who was chairing the meeting, Penny Spook. I remember her too. Cool. Those Zoom meetings are pretty neat, man. Yeah, we figured that out because YouTube can't see Facebooks and Facebooks can't see YouTubes. So if it's a urgent message I think you guys need to help and respond and reply to, I'll throw it up there in the comments. Not throw it up, but I'll throw it up there. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about 6 stages. And it's mostly to do with alcohol, but I think it applies to addiction as well. Alcoholism doesn't occur overnight. It's a disease that typically develops gradually over time as a person drinks more and more regularly, which causes chemical changes to occur in the brain. And it stands to reason that alcohol recovery is also a gradual process. We gradually did get into drug use. We gradually did get into alcoholism. I did. It started out for me even when I was young. I didn't just jump on the bandwagon of a fifth a night drinking. I didn't jump on the bandwagon of stealing everything I could in sight from meth, over the weekend. It was gradual. And so there's no reason to think that our recovery should happen overnight either. That we are in for the long haul, 1 to 2 years before things actually normalize in our physical makeup, our DNA, and our brain wiring, from what I've been reading. While recovery from alcoholism, can take weeks, months, or even years, most people progress through 6 stages. Now, this is kind of controversial. So I read through this. And when we get to that sixth stage, you're going to have to tell me if you agree or disagree. And then I'll tell you my opinion on that as well. But the 5th and 6th one, everybody agrees there's 5, but not everybody agrees that there's 6. So while in recovery can take years, okay, understanding these stages first described in the 70s by a psychologist, James Prochaska. Prochaska. Anyway, these people figured these stages out. So 1 is pre-contemplation, and you can find this on alcoholic recovery stages at drugrehab.com. It says pre-contemplation. This is the first stage. During this stage, people are experiencing the negative impacts of their alcohol addiction, but they have no intention of changing their behavior. At this stage, defense mechanisms are in high gear, and people are reluctant to even acknowledge they have a problem. They may try to avoid the topic of their drinking or minimize the negative impacts of their alcohol use. They may also rationalize or make excuses for their behavior. For example, they may say they are drinking a lot because they are stressed out because of work, or they could claim that it is common to drink and relax and it's no big deal. Pre-contemplation, the first stage of recovery. Alcoholics may even lie and blame others rather than their addiction for their problems. They usually resent suggestions that they should seek help or change their behavior. Others on the pre-contemplation stage feel hopeless and helpless about their situation or overwhelmed by the energy required to make the change. It's too hard. So sometimes people in this stage do show up for addiction treatment, but it's not by their own volition. Typically, it's because family, friends, an employer, or perhaps a court has forced them into this treatment. The nudge from the judge. They don't want to be there. Unfortunately, treatment is often ineffective in this stage because the individuals simply don't believe that they have a problem. It's unlikely that a person in this stage would even be interested in information about alcoholism because people in the pre-contemplation stage are resistant to getting any kind of help for their alcohol addiction. It can be helpful for others to raise the awareness of the risks and problems associated with drinking. So if you know somebody in a stage like this, what can you do to help? Start just bringing up their awareness. It's called planting seeds, right? You tell them, hey, look, that's going to shrink your brain. It's going to hurt your liver. You're going to ruin relationships. You show them the end path of alcohol and that it's a disease, if you want to call it a disease, that it can become a disease, I guess. I don't know where you guys stand on the spectrum of addiction being a disease or not, but call it whatever you want. It is something. And just start planting the seeds of how harmful the road and path that they're on and leave it at that. If you're trying to pressure them into a treatment, if you're trying to pressure them to quit, it's more than likely not going to work. It didn't work when I was there. I even went to an AA meeting and I got drunker than drunk right after the meeting. So engaging in subtle and sympathetic conversation and getting alcoholics to explore the pros and the cons of their own behavior, for example, can help lay the groundwork for the second stage of recovery. Where are we at?
Bob.
Huh?
At Bob.
Ryan, then click.
Wait, well, I didn't want to steal your mouse. You're scrolling.
Oh, I see. So my old grand sponsor, that one?
Yeah, that's
for Brentwood, California Pacific. So Clancy was my great grand sponsor, night chair sponsor. I could have stuck with them softer, easier ways. Interesting. It's dealing with the embarrassment that I have trouble with. So Matthew, are you still in active addiction and you're worried about other people and that's what you're embarrassed about? Yep, I was the same way while using alcoholism as an excuse. Me too, Merd. I can't seem to get past that. You just have to get to a point like I did, and I don't care what people think, man, no more. I'm living my life. My life's my life. My past is who I am now. And I've asked a lot of addicts that are actually in recovery, and I always ask the same question to addicts, depending on, or not depending, no matter what their sobriety date is, if it's 6 months to a year, people that actually, get that recovery, that miracle happens, and they see the path to sobriety and how amazing it is, the type of person they turn out to be because of recovery. I always ask them, would you go through all that trauma, all that addiction, all that again, all that heartache to be who you are today? And nobody's told me no yet. And I agree with that too. Everything that I went through, which was a lot of crap, and everything I put everybody through, which is horrible, but everything that I went through up to this moment has made me who I am today and is going to make me better in the future because of the things that I know now. And wherever I was going with that totally left my mind. Where was I going with that? I was going somewhere. So anyway, the second stage is contemplation. So you got pre-contemplation, and then the second stage is contemplation. By the time people reach the contemplation stage, they've begun to recognize that they have a drinking problem, and they may want to get help, but they're often on the fence about it. Maybe that's where our friend Matt is. Oh yeah. And that's why I don't care what people think about me, because I am who I am, and everything I did is what made me who I am today. And therefore I'm going to be like this because it's who I am. Take it or leave it. If you don't like it, then you probably didn't need to be in my life. You know what I mean? I can't live worrying about what somebody else thinks about me. And it's none of my business what they think about me anyway. And the thoughts that roll around in somebody else's head, really, how does that affect my life at all? Zero. It affects my life none. And if they're critical and all they can do is bring hate to what you're trying to do and bettering yourself, have empathy and feel bad for them to be that kind of a person. You know, the person that goes around and only comments negativity on all the stuff they see on social media.
I have a quote that relates to that.
Let's hear it, Lanky.
Life is like a piano. The white keys represent happiness. The black keys show sadness. But as you go throughout life's journey, remember that the black keys also make music.
Amen. Thanks, Link. I got in a minor tiff with my sponsor about being 1 minute late to a scheduled meeting. My life was crazy. I slammed his screen door a little loud and I go, Alex, oh yeah. In the IOP I was in, he had really strict rules. We had to have our phone on airplane mode. We had to put it in a little pocket and we couldn't play on them. It was 3.5 hours. You had to be on time and they had a lot of strict rules. And the reason he raised the bar so high is because he knew we would only meet, 3/4 of what he raised. So we raised it really high. But on top of that, we're addicts. We need to retrain the way that we live, retrain our life and discipline and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of agree with your sponsor, Bob. I'm glad I yelled at you for that one. Y'all, good call. Yeah, good call. No, the embarrassment of the past. Oh yeah, dude. We all done things in our addiction, and the person that you might be embarrassed to know doesn't understand addiction yet. And they don't understand why somebody that could do that kind of thing, just like people that would ask me, well, why don't you quit for your kids? Quit for your family. And it's not like we didn't love our families. Addiction's bigger than most people realize and understand. It's about your brain is jacked up. And then it's jacked up under the influence of chemicals. And these chemicals keep you blind. I wish I had stuck with Alex. I would have suffered less over the next few decades. He was a tough sponsor. I see Merck being a sponsor like that. He's going to tell people what they need to hear. But those are the kind of sponsors and counselors we need. And praise God, I had those exact counselors and sponsors. Hey, no worried, man. Bob, that's what happens. And now the technology can reach all the way across the world in the blink of an eye. We can get right back to the places that we've never been. It would take 25 hours to drive to. So,
we got a guy on here from Japan.
Yeah, there's a guy from Japan on
That's
here.
awesome.
What's up, Penny?
Hello,
Hi, Mark.
family.
Miss you guys. Brilliant quote, Link, Merd said.
Good job, bud.
100%. Hey, welcome, Alicia. Yeah, I don't care what anybody thinks of me. It's none of my business. Yeah, exactly. I think I got that quote from you the other night. But it's true.
It's true.
It's none of my, whatever they think, that's their own mind. Okay, so individuals may waffle in this second stage. They may waffle back and forth between wanting and not wanting to change. I can't talk tonight. Procrastination or stalling is common in this stage. They may decide, for instance, that they are going to seek treatment sometime in the next 6 months, but they're not going to set a definite date. They're not going to commit to it. But they want to. They know that it's out there somewhere. It's also common for people in this stage to attempt to curb drinking on their own or make plans to cut down on their own alcohol intake, which didn't work for me. I tried the whole wean yourself. It doesn't work for me. People can remain stuck at this stage for a long time. And I think I was in this stage for a couple of years, knowing that they need to make a change, but not feeling ready to act on it. Doing a cost-benefit analysis to weigh out the benefits of alcohol use against the cons and the costs can sometimes help a person find clarity at this stage. Contemplation can be an uncomfortable process, and feeling of guilt, shame, hopelessness, and desperation are common as people reach this crossroads in the addiction journey. Once people in the contemplation stage shift away from just thinking about their alcohol problem and begin focusing on a solution, they will move finally into stage 3, which is preparation.
I feel like I'm in stage 2 of my diet.
Stage 2 of your diet. I'm in stage 1 still.
I want to, but I'm not ready.
I'm in stage 2, yeah. Especially after having been fit. And then, Man, you know what it takes. You know exactly what you got to do.
Yep.
But I got Oreos right over here chilling. I'm going to dunk them in my coffee when Fleece starts talking.
Sounds like my daughter planning to quit meth. Is your family there with you tonight, Bob?
What are they doing to you, Betsy? So let's get into preparation, stage 3. At the preparation stage, alcoholics, and you guys, the word alcoholics and drug addicts, just it's interchangeable. Use it together. Because alcohol is a drug. What is it? What are you supposed to say, that part of the meeting? Period. So at this preparation stage, alcoholics have decided to make a change. They're planning to take meaningful steps toward recovery in the near future. At this point, people are committed to change and are preparing to take action within the next several days or weeks. Although they are still drinking, they've likely begun telling friends and family members about their plan to change their behavior. But they may still feel some ambivalence about their choices. What does ambivalence mean? Alexa, what does ambivalence mean?
Ambivalence is usually defined as uncertainty or fluctuation, especially when caused by inability to make a choice or by a simultaneous desire to say or do two opposite or conflicting things.
Alexa, stop.
For more.
Okay. They could have made that easier by saying some feel reluctant to do that, or they don't feel like it. They're still hesitant. So in this stage, they know they need to. They're telling their friends and family that they want to, but they're still not quite ready. While it may be tempting to rush into recovery at this point, experts actually caution against this sort of sudden action. In their book, it's called Changing for Good. It's a psychologist, James Prochaska, and John Norcross, and Carol Di Clemente, warning that those who cut short the preparation stage are more likely to fail. Oh, wow. That's interesting. A better way to use the time is to develop a detailed action plan. So if somebody's in a preparation stage, if you're one that wants to help, don't push them through it. If you see yourself in this preparation stage, take this advice. It says a better bet is to use the time to develop a detailed action plan, identify strategies that will help them conquer their alcohol addiction. This might include examining the sort of lifestyle changes they need to make or researching the types of treatment and treatment facilities. This is a good time for setting goals, an activity that helps to strengthen the commitment to change. So that means once you quit drinking, what is going to change in your life? Think about it that way. If you're going to quit your drug and for the next 6 months, you know that every habit you had that dealt with that drug is going to fall off your schedule, basically. What are you going to replace it with? We talked about nature abhors a vacuum, and this is a physical nature. That's how water pumps work. Water pushes down, and when that thing pulls back up, there's a void left here that nature hates, so it pulls more water up. And it's the same thing with us. If we get rid of something, we must replace it. And when we replace it, we better replace it with something positive. So think about what's going to change in your life when you're looking forward to what you're about to do. And if you're going to do the 90 and 90, that's a great one, because say every night, like I was, I'd come home by 4:30. It was probably closer to 4. Pretty much as soon as I walked in the door, I would start drinking. And by about 4:45, that pint was gone. And I was either on to the next one or whatever, right? So I had to replace that time because I would come home, and if I didn't have an activity and I replaced mine with an IOP. So I was in an intense outpatient program during that time, which consumed the time that I would have been drinking. So that replacing the time. So if you're going to do the 90 and 90, schedule those meetings. I mean, you can schedule them out. Those apps tell you where they're at. And I know we're in this right now with the Corona thing, but try to find places to replace that time. What's it going to do to your body? What are you going to have to do with your diet? Are you going to have to change, drink more water? Well, how is it going to affect you? Start looking at treatment facilities, start talking to counselors, and then make that commitment, because that's stage 4. Stage 4 is action. In the action stage, people have chosen an approach to sobriety and they're executing it. For many alcoholics, the first step of this stage involves going through a detoxification. That's what I had to do. Or alcohol detox. I detoxed off of meth and alcohol. in my life. And because alcohol withdrawal can be life-threatening, detoxing in a medically managed environment is advisable. And I advise that as well. That's what I had to do. I spent 3 to 4 or 5 days in a detox facility. What you got?
We're falling behind.
Way behind, eh?
Yeah.
Period, Aaron says.
Yes, period. Bob's kids are hiding. Turn the speakers up, Bob. Alicia, you'd be surprised. People do understand as long as you're working recovery.
Yeah, I had the same experience, Alicia.
Brett is love it sitting home.
Good.
Betsy says we need to take her live call.
Take a live call. You want us to take a live call? Is that what you're talking about?
Like, do you want to call us and talk about it? Is that what you're asking?
We'll take a live call.
Danielle says, thank you, Alexa.
Sorry, guys.
Ryan's-
I got to charge my laptop. I love the stream so much. Hey, no worries, man.
Yeah.
No worries. You can watch it again later. The little doper was just asking a ton of questions about you all day. Sweet. Telling me and him got a lot in common. Replace it with recovery. Yeah, James. Hey, welcome back, James. Haven't seen you for a while.
Mr. Vickers.
He's the reason we say
Hi,
the Serenity
Mr.
Prayer
Vickers.
at the end of every show. Replace it with recovery, higher power, exercise, nature, right food, right people, right places, right things. Amen. Couldn't have said it better myself. Stay busy. That's what helped me the most when I get bored. Yeah, Matt, I'm with you on that one. I'm the bored guy. If I get bored, drinking's fun. Mark had a hard time wanting to go camping without. Yeah.
So you didn't go for a few years.
Yeah. You'll have habitual triggers when you go do things. I know when I quit smoking, and it'd been years even, and I'd do something, say, jump on a ski lift, and you reach for your cigarettes. You're like, wait a minute, I quit smoking years ago. Why am I reaching for my cigarettes?
Betsy detoxed 5 days, and she said, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for the live call.
Hey, Betsy, we actually have more time tonight because we don't have to work tomorrow, so we can stay live with y'all all night. So let's plan about 8 o'clock. Where can we send her the link? We can
Facebook.
send you the link, and we can actually pull you on live here in front of everybody if you want to. If that's the kind of live thing you want to do, or do you want to get on the telephone with us? Because if you want to be on the link, I'll send you the link, and at 8 o'clock, I'll bring you on live, and you can be here chit-chatting just like we're on Skype, but you'll be live with everybody.
9 o'clock our time?
Yeah, 9 hour time.
Yeah.
Did I say 8 o'clock?
You said 8 o'clock. So in like 15 minutes?
20.
20 minutes?
Okay, stage 4 is action. Action, guys. I went to the program called Action Recovery. I love that name. And it took me like 3 months to realize the name of the program and how it was so awesome because it's action. You have to take action. If you're not actively working your program, you're not going to make it. Just like step 5 or How It Works says. In the action stage, people have chosen an approach to sobriety and they are executing it. For many alcoholics, the first step of this stage involves going through detox. We talked about that. So because alcohol withdrawal can be life-threatening, don't forget that. Once detox is complete, people can begin work on their psychological, social, behavioral problems that accompany an alcohol addiction or a drug addiction. Many types of addiction treatment programs are available, including long-term residential treatments, short-term residential treatments, outpatient treatment programs, and then there's individualized counseling, group therapy, and 12-step programs. I did the outpatient treatment program 5 days a week, 3.5 hours every single night for 5 months. And then it had even a little bit more than that. So for many people, the action stage is both physically and mentally taxing. It's true. Your addict is going to be freaking out. It's like what it reminded me of is taking a hot metal iron that's red hot and sticking it in fire or sticking it in a quenching it in water. You put that hot metal rod into water and that water and that metal don't want to cool down. It, harden. It does all its things. When you take action against your addict, against your sin nature, and you try to put it to bed, you try to put it to rest, you put yourself in a treatment program and you start battling this addict that has had control of you, it is acting as if you stuck a hot rod in water. It boils and bubbles and hisses and will burn. And that's the mental taxing part of it. The first 2 months of my program, I had my whole house completely tore apart. We're slowly getting it back together. So that was on my mind. I even talked myself into drinking to prove I didn't have a drinking problem. How stupid is that? But it's going to be trying to come at you from every angle to talk you out of what you're trying to do. And that is the part that you have to pick up your shield. You have to pick up a sword, and you got to go to war. You have to go to war against this nature inside you that is fighting against you wanting to better yourself, period. And that's what this article means by mentally taxing. And individuals at this stage face the risk of alcohol relapse. The action stage typically lasts from 3 to 6 months and sometimes as long as 18 months, but it does not mark the end of the recovery process. And then when you get to stage 5, because that was stage 4, stage 5 is maintenance. So after completing, that's where we're at. That's where a few of my friends are at. We've grown through the programs together. And now we've all entered into this 5th stage, and it's maintenance. And that's what here on Recovering Addict we do. We talk about how to get through the first 4 stages and into maintenance. And once we start getting into that maintenance part, that's when we reach out to books that know more than we've learned. And we got to keep digging this knowledge. And not only do we have to learn and fill our mind with this knowledge, we have to go and put it into practice. If you don't practice what you learn, you've learned it for nothing. What does the book of James say? Don't be just a hearer of the word, but be a doer. So maintenance. After completing a program at a treatment center, recovering alcoholics move into the maintenance stage, which generally lasts from 6 months to several years or longer. And I believe it's longer. At this point, the individual is enjoying the benefits of quitting alcohol. That's me right now. I'm enjoying it. We got a relationship back. The kids are happy. My personality's coming back. I'm thinking clearer. I can speak now. My hands don't shake. I don't stink like a bottle of whiskey. My eyes aren't bulging bloodshot. I don't feel like crap, but you're going through some post-acute withdrawal syndrome, sure. And you got to still continue that battle because that hot iron rod that's in the barrel of that water is not cooled off yet. And I don't know that it ever cools off. And that's the controversy we're about to get into. So during this stage, the behaviors people learned during the action stage become second nature. How does something become second nature? Through practice. And they develop new skills to avoid relapse, such as adopting healthy coping strategies, avoiding triggers, and identifying alcohol-free ways of having fun. I had to learn how to have fun because I wasn't having fun unless I was drunk. Everything I did, I had to be drunk because it was funner. That's my personality. Prolonged abstinence along with healthy eating and exercise during this stage can allow people to begin recovery from liver damage. So in this maintenance stage, not only are you reaping the benefits of your social life coming back together, your reputation that you've ruined, start rebuilding those types of things. Your health is coming back too. You're rebuilding the liver. Your brain is starting to rewire itself back into normality. You're giving your body the nutrition, oxygen, and water that it needs. And then here is the controversial stage. But before we get to that, we're going to go through the comments. Hey, what's up, Daniel?
Hi, Daniel. So Austin is new.
Mi hermano.
Everybody's saying you're not alone, brother. Because he gets
Justin.
triggered at the grocery store.
Hey, Corey.
Hi, Corey.
Welcome. Did you call me today? I got a call from a guy and he said, I just got your message. And then I texted him and he's like, wrong number. So maybe it wasn't you. I don't sound that crazy. My phone is picking up you. Calling me crazy, Betsy?
Hey, Betsy, I sent you a message on Messenger. Facebook Messenger.
What does Brent say? I'm having a problem trying to quit smoking cigarettes, the worst drug. I've had to come off thinking maybe detox to quit them, the far worse than any drug or alcohol I've had. Cigarettes was the hardest for me. I've come off the 2 drugs that really had a grip on me was alcohol and meth. Meth, I relapsed on meth too when I quit that, and then finally quit. I even got a stupid tattoo right there. I don't know if you can see it. It says sleepy. Because when I went to jail, I was so dope sick that I slept for at least 3 weeks to a month. And I remember him waking me up. Hey, sleepy, you need to go take a shower. And so that was my nickname for that few months that I was in jail that time. was sleepy. So I went around being called sleepy, and coming off alcohol was very difficult too, but cigarettes was tough. What I did is I bought one of those prime times in a plastic tube and I put it behind my ear. And if I wanted it, I had it, but I'd force myself not to, and I'd chew on it. And that was about it. Austin says, thanks guys. I'm really happy I found this community. Yeah, Austin, welcome.
Welcome.
Reach out to the people in the comments. We have some people that have been in this community since the beginning, since we decided to go live 19 days ago. Our plan is to go 365 days. FYI, it's my 6-month sobriety birthday. Diana, it's her 8-month sobriety birthday as of yesterday. Is it really yesterday, Diana? And I'm 1 day behind you? What? 1 day as far, 2 months. Welcome, Austin. Keep coming. The meetings are awesome. Yeah, pay attention to the comments because people put some amazing things in there. Murd, he's really solid in recovery. James Vickers has good stuff to say. Corey, he's our homeboy up in Bellingham, Washington from the Redemption Place. And then Justin, he just joined us yesterday. He's got some good stuff to say too. And Merck, dude is solid. And then we got Sober James, who's in here every once in a while with us and hangs out too.
Hey, Betsy, it's under Leonard Weaver. That's who sent you the message.
Leonardo. It is disgusting. So I quit smoking cigarettes back in 2008. I started again 10 years later after my son's accident, and I hated smelling like it, so I switched to this stinking vape. Well, it doesn't stink, but I switched to this vape. Now I got to quit nicotine again. One day. One day at a time.
Many habits to kick.
Also, the book of James says, consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials. Well, that's not James 1:2 or something like that, isn't it? Because you know that it's the testing of the faith that produces perseverance, and perseverance produces what?
Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything.
Yep.
Amen, Mr. Vickers.
Great verse, brother. You have stayed connected to sober people. Yes, that's our point. I didn't get it. She didn't get it. Hey, thanks, Murd. Thank you. Can somebody send me a tag? I need the blue one. You guys got an extra one out there somewhere? I got to add a blue one to this chain here. It's kind of funny, too, because you can see my green one does the green screen thing, so you see right through it.
It's invisible. It's your invisible tag.
It's my invisible tag. And then my red one. I need the blue one, man. Thanks. Yeah, I thought I was cool. I actually got the tattoo in gel. Somebody snuck in a CD player motor. I was a house mouse, so I got to go out, grab the food, and come back. And we ended up swiping some paper clips out of someplace, and sat up all night sharpening our paper clips. And we built the little tattoo gun. And then we had some hair food, that gel crap you put in your hair. And we set the wick real high. And we let it just smolder under our bed all night. Actually caught fire one time. We had to put it out, and the cop actually walked past our pod, looked at us, gave us the I can smell that look, and then just kept walking. Anyway, scraped it, made the whole tattoo, and then I got it. And then I was walking around all tough, like I got a tattoo.
Tell her the rest of the story.
And then I'll give you guys the rest of the story on my tattoo later. One day.
Eventually.
Yes, I'm happy. I'll check, she says. Smoked from 14 to 24. Yeah, I smoked from about the same age, 14 to 28. When I was 28, I quit. And that was 2008. She says, thank you. Been off nicotine for a long time. How are them addicts doing? What are they doing right now, Bob? Raina is with you, Brent. What are some coping skills to get through urges? Any suggestions in the comments, anybody? Austin, are you having urges? Like, what's going on? Let us know what kind of urges you're having, and maybe we can get down to a little bit more poignant skills. We can just throw some out there, but if we can't help pinpoint what you're going through, it may just be for nothing. So if you can give us a little bit more detail on that, because I can tell you what I do, but we may not be having the same urges, you know what I mean? Because my urges are boredom. Or if I get bored with something, I was sitting in group one time before I transitioned and just hearing all the chatter, and I was tired, and Nothing was sinking in. I was bored, and the thought crossed my mind, hit the liquor store on the way home. I didn't, but that was an urge for me. How did I cope with that? I leaned on the tools that I learned. If you're not learning tools, you're not going to have anything to rely on. You know what I mean? You got HALT, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Are you one of those 4? If you are, check yourself, because those definitely affect your mental state. Once your mental state's affected like that, you could be triggered. You got PTA, which is pause, think, and act. Why are you having an urge? You pause. I like to modify that one and put PPTA for pause. You pray, think about it, and then you make an act. You have an action. I'm back. The devil makes us use of idle hand. Yeah, definitely. Urges don't go away for everyone. We learn coping tool. Yep. See, Merc, he's already ahead of me. Merc told you. Vickers says, play it through in your head what you would. Yeah, there's a tool right there. That tool that James Vickers is talking about is called playing the tape. Now it would be calling hit and play on the MP3 player, or, stream the tape. If you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. Amen. Corey says, I used to get to that downtime in TV, and that would be the perfect time to smoke a cigarette or after dinner. The first one in the morning and after dinner, my favorites. 8-track. I doubt that she came off the meth. She's too quiet. If she was coming down, she'd be slamming doors or screeching. She'd probably, if she was anything like me, she'd be sleeping. Because when I came off of meth, I woke up. I had how segregated it is in jail, right? So I had one of the white guys, one of the Woods or whatever you want to say. He'd, hey, brother, it's time to eat. And I'd get up and stumble, grab my tray, grab the cookie, throw my tray to somebody on the table as I walked back to bed, ate the cookie, and right back to sleep. And I did that for a few weeks until I finally snapped out of it. Then I got released from jail. I ended up relapsing on meth and marijuana because I failed a drug test with my probation officer. Boom, right back to jail. All right, the 6th final. Now tell me if you guys agree with this, okay? So we got the pre-contemplation, which I'm going to say is basically denial. You got contemplation. You kind of understand you got a problem. You're not quite committed to the change, but there's one that needs to be made. You're still waffling back and forth. And then you got preparation. there needs to be change, and now you're preparing to make the change. And after you step out of 3, you go into action. You're finally going to go execute this change that needs to be made. And once you've actually accomplished the action stage, gone through whatever program, 6 months to 18 months to maybe 2 years worth, you enter into the 5th stage, which is maintenance, where you learn how to recover. You learn your coping skills. You practice everything you learned in the action stage. And then here it is, stage 6, termination. The 6th, and this is what this says, okay? The 6th and final stage of recovery is termination. It's also of somewhat a controversial one. Theoretically, at this stage, the addiction is conquered completely. The alcoholic is sober and has no cravings for alcohol, and there is no threat of relapse. Many in the addiction arena, however, argue that alcohol addiction is a chronic disease that never completely goes away. They believe that the risk of relapse always remains and that the disease requires lifelong treatment. Some people who achieve long-term sobriety continue to display the same impulsive, dysfunctional behaviors that they would when they are drinking. This is something they refer to as the dry drunk behavior. Because dry drunks have a high risk of relapse, they are not in the termination phase. What do you guys think about that? Termination. Are we ever cured of our disease? Where does that say that? They believe that the risk of relapse goes away. The alcoholic is sober and has no cravings for alcohol, and that there is no threat of relapse. I'm going to see what you guys say, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it. I never did meth, thank God. That wasn't around here, but I've done everything else. I'm glad you didn't do it either. My favorite thing an old timer said to me is that be proud of your 30 days clean. 30 years just means I'm 30 years closer to my next drink. Yeah. James Vicker don't believe in the termination stage. Never cured, only recovering. Bob, I doubt I am in the termination phase. Bob, what's your clean day time again? I know you had that big relapse that set you back, but what? How long did you say? I forgot. Or Fleece has it written down. What's up, honey?
Hi, Daddy.
What you doing?
I don't think I have Bob's.
Let's see what Matt says. I hate to leave a good session, 11 p.m. work in the morning. Love y'all. Stay positive, and thanks, LT family, for awesome. Hey, Matt, we're glad you were here. Thank you so much for showing. Sleep good and work your program, brother. Merc never cured. I had a funny feeling Merc would say that.
Such a Merc thing to say.
Always a threat of relapse. Absolutely. Hi, I think. Betsy, is this a second Betsy or did you change your
No,
profile
that's Betsy.
picture?
Yay, you made it. I told her to come over to YouTube and then you can send her the link.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So at 9 o'clock, it's already 9 o'clock. Holy cow. At 9 o'clock, we have a special guest who wants to be on the show. I'm gonna warn you, Betsy, if you're a troll, I'm just gonna shut it down. Not saying you are, but I understand the threat of them. Bob's 2008. Oh, that's when I quit smoking cigarettes.
Why don't I have you on here, Bob? Add you right meow.
2008.
Bob Smith, right?
The 2008.
Twinkle
408.
toes. So not true for me. I've been clean
That's a
14
7.
months now, and I still dream dreams and thoughts of using. Me too, Twinkle toes. I love your name. That's awesome.
I love them.
You like that name?
Twinkle toes.
Hello, Betsy.
I'm glad you're not a troll.
Hey, remember, you guys, if you want to help us, like I said before, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so that I can get some of our solid founding members here to be a part of this recovering addict team and become a moderator, because some of these comments are going so fast that I need help, and I need others to help. You know what I mean? To keep everybody clean and sober. F you, I am not. I didn't say you were. I'm just saying what if. Okay, so
The disclaimer.
All right, I'm going to throw this in the comment. How do I private chat? See, it says private chat, but if I go to search somebody with your guest and I put Betsy, it doesn't work. I got to figure that one out. Anyway, so then I always say screw it. And
Dad, you have Josh's shirt?
you like my shirt, babe? I just got it today.
Dun 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 dun.
Okay, Betsy.
Dun, dun.
The next comment you see from me is the link. If you click that link, you will be on the show with us.
Question is, do you want audio or video?
Well, she gets to choose that herself.
Oh, sweet. Sweet.
If you let your guard down, you're definitely like anyone else, and you can relapse.
Good night, Mr. Vickers.
Yes. Make sure you hit that like button, y'all.
Dad, I love your headphones.
Thanks, babe. I really don't know how to do anything but text. So anyways, good hanging out with you guys. Hit that link and you can be on the show. Got it. Hey, James, have a good night. You want to say the Serenity prayer real quick? God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can,
and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen.
Have a good night, brother.
Praise
Merc
the
says,
Lord.
I have a Josh shirt, except it says saws with chainsaws. I got some nice chainsaws out in my shop too, Merc. We take out insurance against the next drink. Hey, there she is. She is backstage, y'all. So we're going to put our headphones on now. You got to turn our speakers down.
Headphones.
And we're
No,
going
that's
to
not how that works.
talk live to Betsy.
Oh, I want to talk to Betsy. Oh, no, but I want to talk to Betsy.
My daughter wants to talk to you, Betsy. Okay, guys, let's welcome Betsy to the show.
Can you put these in?
It didn't work.
How you doing?
I'm declining another call. Hold on. Okay. Hi.
Can you hear us?
Well, yeah, I was just declining another call. Okay.
Okay. So what's on your mind? What's going on?
Well, oh my God. You're okay. Hold on. I'm trying to get your say something.
Hello. You may need to put
Oh,
headphones
yeah.
in. You
Okay.
may.
It's
Yeah.
so like I can barely hear you guys, but okay.
Have to crank it up, maybe. I don't know.
No, it's cranked up on my phone, but anyways, let me see. Why is it not?
If you see yourself go full screen, just know I'm in control of that. Because if you're talking, I'll just pull your face up to the screen and stuff. So don't worry about if we disappear.
I can hear it right here.
Okay, well, I really don't need to see myself. I really don't. But anyways, I'm so glad you guys came on, and I've been following you guys the last couple days, and it's good to like. Seriously, I know everybody's like, I'm gonna start like doing something, and then boom, this virus hit us, and then we can't.
Right.
And I really was. I really was. But
using that, were you using the virus as an excuse to stay in addiction? Is that what you mean, or what were you talking about?
No, I wasn't using it as anything. No, seriously, I wasn't. I just, I guess it's just another excuse. But
hold on a second. For some reason, they can't hear you, but we can.
I can't hear you either. I can't.
Really?
Yeah. No, you were. I'm
No,
talking to myself, and
I think we're good. She retracted her message. I think she can hear us.
Corey says, "What's up, Betsy?"
okay, hi.
Do you have headphones?
No.
Oh,
That's okay. Just put it
At
closer.
least you can hear us enough.
And I have like my everything turned up. I don't know why, but okay. I mean, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, Burke says
We're good.
you can hear everybody.
Okay. Well, I don't. Like I said, I don't need to hear myself. I know what I sound like.
All right, spill your guts. What's up?
Oh my guts. That's crazy. Okay. So are you guys married?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. For how long?
I don't know, 13 years or so.
Okay. Yeah.
We
My
just had
husband and I have been together 19 years.
Oh, awesome. Good for you.
And both of us have like like had, a lot of shit.
You guys having troubles right now?
We're actually for like everything we've been through, we're a really happy couple. We really are. He's an amazing guy, but we both have had like serious, like we're both addicts in different ways, but
What's going on?
we play on each other. We play on each other, and although our addictions are not the same, we will end up having those addictions because of each other. It's like what we can't get when we can't get it. It's kind of fucked up. I don't know. I don't need to explain it. I think you know.
What's your drug of choice?
Mine?
Yeah.
Opiates.
Opiates.
Yeah, but I haven't done them in years, and I'm not saying it's because I wouldn't do them if I couldn't get them. It's we made a move in our lifestyle, and we moved to another state, and he was working with people that got like the drugs he wanted, and I went to rehab for 3 months and for opiates, and now it's just like, I guess, whatever we can get, whenever we can get it, whoever got whatever the person,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you both in active addiction right now, or?
Not with like he was a meth addict, and I was opiates, and now we're just drinking, and but it seems like it's just a substitute, it's just a substitute for what we'd want or what we would be doing if we could get it.
Sure.
Yeah.
It is.
It doesn't make it better. It seems like it's just it's really kind of a fucked up situation because I've been clean for a long time off what I want to do, but I'm not clean. So I'm not as happy as I know I would be if I wasn't doing anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Does he want to quit?
He does, and I'm not like, I know I like text you guys, and you said something about it the other night. He's more of the alcoholic than me, and alcohol is what we can get now, and alcohol is like, you go down the street and you can get it. Like, you don't have to like be shady about getting it. You can just go buy it.
All right.
Yeah. And yeah, and it makes it hard because I really want to be sober, and he comes home from working and he's still in construction, and he's goes to work and he's drinking, and he comes home, and I'm like been sober all day, but he still has like a couple beers or drinks in his his bag, and it's like, oh well, you've got them, I'll drink some. And we're not doing the hard shit we were doing before, but we're substituting.
How much are you drinking? Sounds like he's drinking all day. How much are you drinking?
No, he is. He's drinking all day, and I'm definitely not trying to imply that he's worse than me when it comes to being an alcoholic. I'm just saying, I'll be home thinking like, oh, we're gonna get straight today, we're gonna be sober today, and he'll tell me, yeah, we are, and then he comes home and I realize he's not, and he still has a couple. I don't even know if you guys know what these are. It's not like we're talking in like, it's not like we're like dinosaurs, right? You go to a liquor store, you get like Long Island, a little. It's a Long Island, but it's in a little drink, and he'll drink like 6 of those while he's at work, and then he'll come home and he'll have like 2 or 3 of them in his bag, and I'll drink like 2 or 3 of them when he gets home because he has them when I haven't drinking all day, and it's just like it's like a repetitive. So
you're sick of the cycle, huh?
Yes, and I don't want to, and he knows I don't want to, and I'm not blaming him because I'm bad too. If I was really that strong, I wouldn't be doing it either, and I don't even know.
What is your plans of right now? Like, do you have a plan, or you just realize how much you're hurting right now because of it?
My kids actually, I have a 19-year-old son, and he works all day too, and I have 2 little kids who are at their grandma's all week, and my whole plan was to not drink at all while they were gone this week and be good, because all the homeschooling and everything I need to do, which I do anyways, and I make it work, but that's just like functioning, right? And it's not as good as I can be, and right now I guess my plan is to just have another plan. I don't know.
So tomorrow's a new day.
Yeah. God damn it. I tell myself that every fucking day. I know.
And I like what Bob said here. Bob put in the comments, if you look, it says, sometimes you got to lead by example. And Felice would tell you probably to quit. I know it's hard. I understand where you're coming from. But then don't, what's it called? Don't enable his drinking.
And you know what? I've tried. There's been like weeks in the last couple of months where I've gone like 7, 8, 9 days, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna drink. You've come home, you've drank, you have stuff to drink, whatever, and I don't. And I actually told them the other day, and I feel so bad because I'm like, I've had an addiction as long as he has. With everything, and I told him, I'm like, if it comes to a point where I have to be sober for my family and my kids, I can't be with you. And he's like, oh, you're just saying you won't be with me. I'm like, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that we've been together 20 years. I'm like, I just am tired.
Does he get how you feel?
Yes, he gets it, and he wants to be that way too. But he's like, and I don't mean to say he's worse than me, but he is worse than me. And then it's like, I know I can't do it if he doesn't do it.
Yeah, even though it's emotionally hard and you guys have been together for so long, you have to work on you. You can't fix him.
I
So
know that, but what
if-
am I gonna do?
if it takes separating and that's how you have to be clean, maybe that's
I mean, it's like
step to take.
separating. Like I can't like separate. I mean, it's not that I even want to, but even if I wanted to, like financially and everything, it's like not like it's not like an option. Like it's not. It's not.
It's tough.
And and I don't want to leave him. He's my best friend. He's been my best. We've been together since we were teenagers.
So
And I'm 40. I'm 40 now, and he's 39, and we've been together for a long time.
So you gave him an ultimatum that you have to leave to quit. So are you saying that because he's still
I didn't
drinking?
give him an ultimatum. I just said if it ever came to a point where I was that
You're just saying it's a
strong
possibility.
in my recovery that I might have to be in a position to be living without him because
Oh.
he may never quit.
right.
I like what Bob said, or Merck said right here. He said, if you decide to make this decision and you decide to put your foot down and you quit drinking to take care of yourself, and she's gone. But
No, she's still there. Or no, she's
no,
gone.
I think she cut out. But well, you guys keep her in your prayers, and if she's still listening, put your foot down. I like what Merck said. He's gonna at least think long and hard when he goes to have that sip. Make it guilty for him. Yeah. I wish her the best, and you guys can keep her in your prayers too.
Yeah.
But she just dipped out.
Veronica's in that same situation.
Veronica's handling it very well.
But she is. It sounds like, Betsy, you're well on your way to recovering.
Yep. Doing the right thing by reaching out. Remember, you're not alone. We are here to help you any way we can. And that goes for everybody in the comments. We're all here. Merck, keep coming back. Yes, keep coming back, Betsy. You did the first hard step was reaching out to people. And that is one of the hardest things to do is to reach out, throw yourself out there, and especially in front of a bunch of people that you don't know, and admit it. So I hope you feel better for doing that as well. Hang in there, kid, Bob says.
I don't know, Betsy, if you're still here, do you have the big book or the 12 steps or any resources?
Yeah, that was heartbreaking a little bit for me.
I'll ask you guys. If you wanted to come back, you could just re-click the link.
I'm glad you're still watching. Everybody is concerned about you, and we want you to keep coming back. And like we said just a little bit ago, you're done the right thing by reaching out. You know, sometimes that phone, if you were to call your sponsor and find a sponsor, definitely get a sponsor. Work this 12 steps. If you don't have an AA book, get an AA book, read through that. And keep reaching out to us. I know that times are hard right now with the stress of the world and the COVID and everything. It feels like the walls are closing in on us. I'm right there with you. She's right there with you.
Yeah, for sure, Betsy.
And it's tough when I was blessed enough to have a wife that stuck around through me being a prick every night and her not drinking throughout the whole thing. But I couldn't imagine if she was actually an addict and we were both having to battle that, which at the end of the day is you're both battling your own character defects, which is two totally separate issues. And that's a personal thing. My problems are my problems, and the way that I think and the way that all my character defects run has nothing to do with her. It's my problems, and I have to fix that about me. And same with her. She has to take care of herself. Then we can come together.
Yeah. Your recovery is your recovery, Betsy. He can't do it for you, and you can't do it for him.
Yep. Ash, welcome back.
Hello, Ash.
I feel for her too, Ash. Throw her up in your prayers tonight, everybody. Don't say sorry. We're here. Let me read this part again. I read it yesterday, and I've read it a million times, and I will continue to read it. My favorite part of this book, like I said yesterday, verbalization. Betsy, this is what you did. You start talking about it to people who are not going to accuse you, criticize, or minimize. And we have done nothing with that with you, but put our sympathy and heart. And we're all concerned for you, I swear. You need to talk about what you're experiencing. It'll help you look at your situation more realistically. It'll help you bring in internal symptoms to your conscious awareness. It'll give you support when you need others to rely on. Express as much as you can about what you're thinking and feeling, even if it seems irrational or unfounded. So we all are grateful right now that you reached out and did that. You gave us strength and hope to know that there are people suffering, that we are actually here helping, and our group conscious is with you. Know that.
Yeah, and keep coming back. Come back tomorrow and the next day and the next day and as many days as it takes.
That's from Mark. Mark says, my heart aches for you, Betsy. My wife refused to quit drinking when I asked to stop to help me stop. It took a rock bottom for both of us to get us on the same page. So Mark, well, the Youngs here, they sound like you're experiencing what they've experienced. And they're 4 years, 5 years past that now. So it's possible, it happens, that you both can recover. But take care of yourselves and then come together. But they both had to go through a rock bottom part in their life. And that's where it's going to go. If the pain and the sorrow and the sadness and the guilt and the sick of the cycle. I was so sick of the cycle of every day having that feeling of I gotta drink, just the whole cycle it becomes so heavy. And we could all feel the weight on your shoulders and wish we could remove it. We all wish we could just reach in there and remove it, because we've all been there. We all know exactly, but we know this side of it, the recovery side. We want you to join us on that side.
Sounds like she's at stage 3.
Yeah, you're in stage 3, preparation. You've decided to make a change. You're planning to take meaningful steps towards recovery in the near future. Love that, where it's at in the book. Where is that in the book? Do you have this book? It's called Staying Sober. It's by Terrence Gorski. It is on page 71. Don't forget to use the I statements. Stay away from you statements.
Take a responsibility instead of blame.
Yeah. My ex was a violent drunk. I'd wake up to being beat and black eyes. A bloody nose, being like, what the heck just happened? I stayed in that crap for long, and I'm glad I'm away from it. Yeah, we're glad you're out of that too. That is not good for anybody, man.
No.
Cheers to not drinking, friends.
Yes.
Actually, yeah. Cheers with my coffee.
Oh, I got a Wonder Woman cup for my coffee. She's my favorite.
And it is Thursday night. We don't have to work in the morning, so we can chit chat as long as you guys want. We are here all night. I don't have that book, but I'll get it. It's a good one. And one day when I'm an affiliate of Amazon and all that good stuff, I'll have the links in the description for you guys to do it. All right. So where were we before we talked to Betsy? We were talking about the 6th step as a termination step. And my opinion on the termination step is it don't exist. We are in recovery the rest of our lives. If the termination stage existed, I would have gotten there after 2008 when I quit smoking weed, smoking cigarettes. I quit drinking, and I was clean for 5 years. I didn't use any narcotics and I didn't drink. I was going to the gym. I was eating I was in the best shape I've ever been in my entire life. And at 33, I started drinking, and you fast forward 7 years and I hit rock bottom. So if I was going to be in that stage, I would have been in it. But I started drinking again and had a huge relapse of years and drank to the bitter, I drank myself right to the hospital, right to an IOP. Amen, Bob. Terminations when you die. Yep. You are not free from this alcoholism until until you're dead. Or you're going to die because of your alcoholism. Know what I mean? I agree with that.
Termination is when you die. Their parents are dead.
Just got a text from Sober James, some encouragement. I really like that guy. I was in a Zoom meeting with Sober James today, and it was really cool because when you're watching his live show, you get to hear him just do the talking and responding to comments. And same with my show, you just get to hear me talking and responding to comments. I believe he's contemplating on doing a Zoom meeting every day. It's not AA or NA. It's just going to be Sober James's environment of sobriety. You know, you can come express yourself there, but we're all on camera. It's these comments, but we're all looking at each other. So I highly suggest going to Sober James's channel, subscribing to him, of course, and I think I'm not sure how he has it set up. But go to his channel, figure him out, and figure out if he's going to do the Zoom thing or not. And if he does, I highly suggest figuring out how to join it and get a part of it. And then we can all have these meetings where it's not time constrained like mine is on the weekdays, or I'm not the only one trying to jibba jabba. Jibba 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 jibba. Still talking to Betsy? So the cycle of recovery from alcoholism. While some alcoholics progress through the first 5 stages in recovery in a linear fashion, many do not. It is more common for people to move back and forth through the stages as they tackle addiction. You make a couple steps forward, you take a couple steps back. And I did it in my first part of my recovery. If you look at my whole addiction life, I was a super addict until I went to jail that final time and got clean. Then I came out and became a pothead for 4 years. So that was steps back. Then I stepped forward because when I was in the halfway house, it was a place where I had to go to counseling. So I learned a lot about addiction recovery. Obviously, I didn't take it seriously. And then I took a couple steps forward by being clean for those 5 years that I was. And then I took huge steps backwards, becoming an alcoholic. And now I'm back on but I'm older. I'm 40 now. I got that experience under my belt. I know the dangers and I take them more seriously. You know, it comes with age a little bit there as well, I think. But relapse is a common feature of substance use disorders, and it is more the rule than the exception. In fact, 40 to 60% of people recovering from substance addiction relapse at some point. And that's according to the National Institute of Drug Abuse. And I agree with that. I always say like 30 to 70, because when I was sitting in my IOP, and our group went from, I think the smallest it ever was 7. And that only lasted a few days. And the biggest I've seen it was about 20, close to 20. And so I saw it fluctuate right within there. But I saw about 70% of the people leave. And I only saw about 30% of the people actually make it through and transition. And it was a sad thing. Because you'd get to know these people for a minute. You know, they'd spend a couple months there. They would spill their guts. You know, when you're in that close-knit group therapy and you have a counselor residing over you, you talk about stuff you don't talk about with other people. You have true, honest, open, refreshing, in my experience, conversation. And then you hear theirs, they hear yours, and then all of a sudden they'd leave and relapse. I mean, they take a chunk with you. But the benefit of giving outweighs the benefit of losing. So continually give. In the 12th step, you're going to give more than you get back. And getting back is actually seeing people recover, transition. Just like we saw Diana today's little thing for her. 8 months sober. I got to celebrate my 6 months today. I'm 180 days since this white one right here. This is 207 or something like that. But you know, it's a real thing. It's a serious problem. And it needs to be brought to the awareness of people in the world who are normies and don't understand addiction. And I like to tell people that are normies and don't get addiction, tell them to quit eating sugar. Say 30 days, cold turkey. You can't have 1 grain of sugar in any of your food. See how long they can make it. And then I'll give them a little tiny taste, little perspective. Approximately 15% of those who relapse regress to the pre-contemplation stage. And approximately 85% return to the contemplation stage before progressing to the preparation and action stages. Most people recovering from addiction will cycle through these stages of change 3 or 4 times before completing the cycle without a slip. And that's me. I did that. And now I'm 6 months past that. Medical disclaimer, drugrehab.com aims to improve the quality of life for people struggling with substance use and mental health disorder with the facts-based content about the nature and behavioral health conditions, treatment options, and other related outcomes. We publish material that is researched, cited, edited, and reviewed by licensed medical professionals. The information we provide is not intended to submit for professional medical advice, diagnose, or treatment. It should not be used in the place of advice of your physician or other qualified healthcare providers. And I think I'm going to copy and paste that and put that on my channel because that is exactly me too. Disclaimer. Twinkle Toes. Sober James on YouTube. Yes, Sober James on YouTube. Look him up. Is that where I look him up? No, go to YouTube, just like you're on here, and just right in that search bar, type Sober James. He's a handsome fella. He sits at a thing like he's got a fish tank and a guitar behind him and a nice TV. So fish tank, guitar, or fish tank, TV on his right, guitar on his back, big strapping man, 6'4", handsome, full head of hair. The fella's gorgeous, you guys. Great beard. Great beard like mine. It's about all we got in common is our facial hair and our sobriety. And we're both really funny.
And handsome. LT's so handsome.
What's the main reason or excuse for relapse? Whew, main one? You don't want to quit? You enjoy it? You have an addict? I don't know. I know my main ones. Are you talking about mine?
Or did he read it and you missed it?
The main reason or excuse for relapse. I think it's different for everybody. But at the end of the day, it's your addict talking to you, and it's using whatever excuse you'll buy, in my opinion. Mark says, true, Bob. I have constantly kept in mind that I could relapse at any time. It keeps me focused on my weakness, which in turn gives me straight and keeps me up my guard. Amen, Mark. I'm the same way. After 40 years of, well, since I was 13 using drugs until now, I know for a fact I could relapse one day. There's no doubt about it, but I don't want to. Yeah, exactly what Merck said. Without sugar, I get migraines.
Stupid sugar.
I told you to tell them to do that. You don't have to try.
I'm on stage 2 of sugar.
Let me punch you in the face. Sorry, bud.
Didn't look like it felt good at all.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. It happened to me. I had 28 years. Now, if not the relapse, 92 to 2020. The relapse caught me in 0507. Got jumped by the relapse, like jumped by Mr. Death, pounced by a puma. I love Bob. Yep. So the plan is, after today, we talked about the 6 stages, which I only believe there's 5. The 5 stages of recovery. We're going to jump back into this tomorrow night. We're going to go into chapter 7. Maybe every other show. One show about stages of addiction, helping to quit, things like Betsy's going through, how to, talk like that. Then we'll jump into, for people that are further into recovery and who need to learn more like I do about staying sober and not relapsing, overcoming triggers. Like I said, we have gone through, if you post that Facebook page, we have gone through 37 different warning signs of relapse. And the more you know about the warning signs, the more better prepared you are to stop that process before you actually take a drink or use that drug. Because relapse isn't when you drink or use the drug. Relapse when you're on that down elevator walking up. Relapse stops when you stop moving and you start going down. And then by the time you hit the bottom is when you hit the bottle. Corey doesn't have a really problem with who cares anymore. It doesn't matter. I agree, brother. Hey, Twinkle Toes. Thanks for hanging out and
Good
have
night,
a great
Twinkle Toes.
night. So cool to see your kids participating here. And the thing behind that, Betsy, is I was the addict. I was the one that needed to quit. I needed recovery, but my actions and what it produced here in the house, we had to recover as a family. And so we're dedicated to family recovery. She wasn't an addict, but the stuff that we went through during that years of my addiction, we have to recover. And that's why at the IOP I went to, every Thursday night was family group therapy. Like, it was a group of families. Really awesome. And sometimes you were in the hot seat in front of a group. The day that I relapsed, or not the day that I relapsed, but during my relapse here, we're sitting in group therapy, and it'd been maybe a week, and I thought I was in the clear. I'd already been chewed out by the group. I'd already been chewed out by the counselor of why I shouldn't have done what I did. I believed it. Then we're sitting in group therapy and just like hanging out, and one of the people in the group asks Felice, "Hey, what do you feel about LT's relapse?" And then boom, all eyes on me.
And
she starts talking. Yeah, she starts crying and starts explaining
what it felt like.
What I sold her on. The reason that I relapsed was my addicts selling the reason I should drink. And boy, we got lit up, man.
Good night, Bob.
Yes. Good night. Have a sweet dreams, brother.
Bob.
Tons of relapses you could add. Also add people you hang out with. Yeah, no doubt. You got to get rid of those guys for a while. And if you stay clean, you'll realize how many of them were only there because you used, and they won't hang out with you unless you do use. It has to be. So get it. Can you reach out to my husband? I'd love to. If you can put us in contact, I wouldn't know how to reach out to him, but if you could get us in contact with each other, I'd love to talk to him. Yeah. So Ash says, yeah, the people thing is probably my only issue. So I've been social distancing before it was a thing. That's awesome. Yeah.
All the introverts were like, I've been waiting for this day my whole life.
That was one of the things we were talking about in Sober James's thing. I was like, because one of the people in there were talking about how they were always kind of introverted and stayed home. And I was like, was it weird finding out they started calling your life quarantine? You realize quarantine's your life? You've seen that meme going around, I'm sure. But yeah, so we'll go through this. We'll start in chapter 7. Chapter 7. Oh, on our private Facebook page, go join that. And you can read through the list of the 37 warning signs, catch up to where we are in this book, and we will start talking about relapse prevention planning, how to plan for this, understanding that how to get control of yourself and finding out what's going on in your head, heart, and life. And so we're going to wrap it up tonight at 9:30. Let's read our little devotion. I've been digging just for today lately. I read this earlier, and I love it, and I think everybody needs to pay attention here because it hit home with me. It's called Attraction, April 2nd, 2020. Our public image consists of what we have to offer, a successful, proven way of maintaining a drug-free lifestyle. That's in basic text, page 75. Yes, we are attracting new members. More and more addicts are finding Narcotics Anonymous. This is not Narcotics Anonymous. We just use their material because we believe in it. But how do we treat our newest members when they arrive, worn out from their struggles with addiction? Do we reach out to newcomers who are standing by themselves at the meetings, confused, uncertain? Are we willing to give them rides to meetings? Do we still work one-on-one with the addict who suffers? Do we give out our phone numbers? Are we eager to go on the 12th step call, even if it means getting up from our comfortable beds in the middle of the night? Will we work with someone who has a different sexual orientation or is from another culture? Are we generous with the gift of our time? No doubt we were met with the love and acceptance by our fellow addicts. What attracted many of us to Narcotics Anonymous was the feeling that we had finally found a place where we belonged. Are we offering that same sense of belonging to our newer members? We cannot promote Narcotics Anonymous, but when we put principles into action in our lives, we attract new members to the NA way, just as we were attracted to recovery. Just for today, I will work with a newcomer. I will remember that I was once a newcomer myself. I will seek to attract others with the same sense of belonging I have found in NA. That's a good one. I really like that one.
That was a good one.
Who are we not? God. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen.
Amen.
You guys, thanks for watching. If you want to help us out, like I said before, you can hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed and share this video. Until next time, you guys, stay strong, work your programs, and remember, we recover
We're
better
better together.